my review of The Vanishing season by Jodi Lynn Anderson. It's got a really great premise. It's about a girl from Chicago who has to move to Wisconsin because her parents are going through some financial difficulties. Her mom has been laid off from her job. Their family owns a house in Wisconsin, and it's a really rundown, decrepit old house. But they move there and they fix it up, and it's part of this really quaint, almost old-fashioned small town where everybody knows everybody. The girl, Maggie, is not sure how she feels about this. She's used to the big city. She's not sure she'll find friends here or even feel like she'll belong here. Right about the time they move to this small town, there are some mysterious deaths. Teenage girls are winding up drowned, and they're finding them, and since it becomes a pattern of teenage girls drowning, it's assumed that there's a serial killer doing this. The premise is engaging. You want to find out, why are these girls disappearing in such a small town? Who's the culprit? What does Maggie have to do with any of this? Interestingly, part of the book is narrated by what appears to be a ghost. Maggie narrates in third person, limited. Then this ghost narrates in first person, also limited. It seemed cool at first, and it really piqued my interest. But as the book went on, it kind of didn't really work. I think that part of the problem was the third person limited narration kind of kept me from getting invested in the characters. I didn't really feel anything for Maggie. There didn't really seem to be anything special about her. Then she makes friends with this girl, Pauline, who's her neighbor, and I didn't really like Pauline either because she's made out to be basically like the most lovable girl in the whole world. And she has these flaws, but her flaws are so lovable and cute and adorable, and I just found that really irritating. Her third friend, Liam, who's in love with Pauline and who ends up having a thing with Maggie as well. He's supposed to be this really great guy, and he's so strong and manly and caring and sensitive. The characterization was not great. I feel like there was more telling than showing. I didn't think the characters' interactions were that authentic or genuine. The dialogue was kind of strange at different points. Then the end of the book, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but the end of the book was really jarring, and it just didn't seem to go with the story. It kind of felt like the author got to a point that she was like, oh my gosh, I don't know where I'm going with this. And so she kind of just hurried and wrapped it all up, and it wasn't a satisfying ending. It just felt very off and jarring, and in a way, I appreciate a jarring ending. I appreciate when I'm taken by surprise, but I don't think this one did it for me. It was a good premise. It was an interesting read. I was engaged. I just didn't love it. So if you want to read it, go for it. You may have a different opinion than I did, because I can definitely see elements of this book that people would love. However, it wasn't for me. After I read it, I just kind of was like, what? If you've read it, let me know what you thought, whether you found the same issues with the book as I did, or if your take was different. I'd love to hear a different opinion on it. Let me know. Thanks.